Most people do not lose because they are missing one secret technique. They lose because their body is easy to control. They push with straight arms, leave their elbows floating, extend their legs for too long, give away grips for free, and then wonder why better athletes keep walking through their guard, smashing their frames, and finishing submissions that feel impossible to stop. This is one of the harsh truths of Jiu-Jitsu. A bad frame is not defense. A bad frame is a handle. If the person on top can grab it, turn it, drag it, staple it, or move around it, then the thing you thought was saving you is actually helping them beat you. That is why frames, levers, and wedges matter so much. A frame controls distance. A lever lets you move part of the opponent's body. A wedge blocks the space they need to escape. That is not a small detail. That is the real mechanics underneath guard retention. Passing, side control, submissions, and escapes. A frame is supposed to keep the other person away, without giving them something easy to control. Your foot on the hip can be a frame. Your shin across the body can be a frame. Your knee shield can be a frame. Your forearm against the shoulder can be a frame. But the frame only works if it protects distance and lets you move behind it. The mistake is leaving the frame there until it becomes a lever. Someone on bottom side, control pushes with straight arms. The elbow separates from the ribs and the top person collects the arm. Someone in open guard extends the leg too long. The passer controls the ankle and throws the leg across. Someone keeps a knee shield, but their hips stay flat, so the passer walks around it. The frame was there, but it was already dying. Good frames are alive, they appear, they create distance, they let the hips move, and then they are replaced before the other person turns them into control. If your foot gets cleared, your shin has to come in. If your shin gets beaten, your knee or forearm has to block the next layer. If the forearm starts failing, your hips need to move before the chest-to-chest pressure arrives. This is why good guard players are annoying. You never get one clean road through them. You clear the foot and the shin appears. You beat the shin and the knee returns. You go around the knee and the elbow blocks the shoulder. They are not hoping one frame lasts forever. They are constantly replacing frames, managing distance, and buying time before the pass settles. The next part is lever control. A lever is anything you can control from the end and use to move something bigger. If you control the wrist, you can start controlling the shoulder. If you control the foot, you can start controlling the hip. If you control the head, you can start controlling the spine. This is why strong people become much easier to move when you attack the right part of the body. Trying to move someone's hips directly can feel impossible, but if you control the foot and turn the knee, the hip has to react. Trying to move the shoulder is difficult when the elbow is tight, but if you separate the wrist and rotate the arm, the shoulder starts to follow. A kimura is the cleanest example. It is not just a submission, it is control of the shoulder through the arm. Once the shoulder is turned out of position, the person is not only defending their arm, they are defending their posture, their balance, and their ability to face you. That is why the kimura can become a sweep, a back take, a pin, a pass, or a finish. The submission is only one result of the control. The same idea is everywhere. An arm drag works because the arm turns the shoulder and exposes the back. A leg drag works because the leg turns the hips and makes the guard player face the wrong direction. A front headlock works because the head controls the spine and makes posture difficult to recover. Different techniques, same mechanic. But touching the lever is not the same as controlling it. If you grab the wrist and the person pulls it back, you did not own the lever. If you catch the ankle and the person squares up again, you did not own the leg. Real lever control changes the body. It turns the shoulder, turns the hip, weakens posture, or breaks the base. If nothing changes, you only had a grip. This is where wedges come in. A wedge blocks space. It can be your knee, shin, shoulder, head, hip, or elbow. It does not need to look fancy. It just has to stop the opponent from returning to safety. You can have the arm, but if the elbow can return to the ribs, The arm is not really yours. You can almost pass. But if the knee can come back inside, the pass is not finished. You can hold side control, but if the person can turn in, recover the elbow, and build a frame, the position is still alive. Wedges close those doors. When you pass guard and place your knee, hip, or shoulder in the space between their knee and elbow, you are not just sitting on top. You are stopping the body from reconnecting. When you attack an armbar and your leg blocks the shoulder, your leg is not decoration. It stops the shoulder from moving and keeps the pressure from escaping. When you use your shoulder in side control to turn the face away, you're not only being heavy, you are using your body as a wedge to break their posture. This is why top pressure is not only about weight. A heavy blanket can still be moved if the person underneath can turn, frame, and recover space. Real pressure is more precise. It blocks the right spaces, controls the right levers, and makes every escape smaller. Side control shows this perfectly. A lot of people get side control and just lie on the person. Against someone new, that might work. Against someone good, it is usually not enough. If they can turn their face back, recover an elbow, bring a knee inside and build a frame, you are not controlling them. You are just waiting for them to escape. Real side control is different. Your shoulder turns their face away. Your hip or knee blocks their hip from turning in. Your arm position stops the elbow from reconnecting. Your weight goes through specific points instead of spreading everywhere with no purpose. You are not just trying to be heavy. You are taking away the roads they need to get out. From the bottom, the job is the opposite. You need to rebuild frames without handing over levers. A forearm against the shoulder can help, but not if the elbow floats away. A knee inside can help, but not if the hips are flat. A hand post can help you move, but if the top player attacks it, that post becomes another problem. Side control is not just pressure versus escape. It is frames, levers, and wedges fighting each other. The bottom person tries to rebuild distance. The top person tries to turn those frames into handles and close the spaces before they are used. The armbar exposes the same mistake. Most people think the armbar is about pulling harder on the arm, but the arm is only one piece. If the shoulder can move, if the body can rotate, if the person can stack, turn, or follow the pressure, the arm can survive. A strong armbar is lever control plus wedges. You control the end of the arm, but you also stop the shoulder from moving freely. Your legs are not there only because the technique is supposed to look like that. They are there to block space around the shoulder and upper body so the defender cannot turn pressure into movement. This is why some armbars look correct but feel weak. The arm is extended, but the shoulder is free. The hand is controlled, but the body is rotating. The attacker is pulling, but the defender is moving the pressure somewhere else. The missing piece is not more anger or more squeeze. The missing piece is usually control of the body behind the arm. The same thing happens with leg attacks. You can trap one leg, but if the hips can turn and the other leg can build base, the person can start escaping. You can have the heel or the knee line for a second, but if the rest of the body is free, the control disappears. The limb matters, but the body behind the limb matters more. This is why chasing submissions too early creates fake confidence. You catch newer people, tired people, or people who do not know the defense, and it makes you think the attack is strong. Then you try it on someone good, and the move keeps failing. The problem is not always the submission. The problem is that your control was fake. If this is giving you something useful, I post free tips and deeper guides on my Patreon. The link is in the description, and if you want every new lesson to reach you, subscribe and turn on the bell. A better way to think is control first, submission second. First, you isolate the lever, then you block the space, then you stop the person from rebuilding their frame, then every escape becomes smaller, and the finish starts to make sense. That is how it feels when someone much better controls you. It does not always feel like they jump on one random move. It feels like everything gets worse little by little. First, your head turns away, then your elbow separates, then your hip cannot move, then your other arm gets stuck, then you know what is coming. But you cannot stop it because every useful answer has already been removed. That is real control. Not panic squeezing, not holding as hard as possible, not rushing because you are scared to lose the position. Real control is when the other person feels their options disappearing. This also gives you a better way to fix your own game. If your guard keeps getting passed, maybe your frames are becoming levers too easily. Your legs stay extended, your hips stay flat, and the passer can move your feet wherever they want. The answer may not be a new guard. It may be better timing, better frame replacement, and not giving the passer free handles. If your side control feels weak, maybe you are using weight without wedges. You are on top, but the person underneath can still turn in. Recover the elbow and bring the knee inside. The answer may not be to squeeze harder. It may be to block the hip, turn the face away, and close the escape space before they use it. If your submissions keep slipping away, maybe you have the lever, but not the wedge. You grab the arm, but the shoulder is free. You caught the neck, but the body can turn. You attack the leg, but the hips can rotate. The finish appears for a second, but the rest of the body has too many ways to save it. Once you start seeing frames, levers, and wedges, techniques become easier to understand. Your hand is not just placed somewhere, because that is the step. Your hand is stopping a lever. Your knee is not just sitting near the body. Your knee is blocking a space. Your head is not just pressure. Your head may be stopping the shoulder from turning back in. This is the difference between copying a move and understanding it. When you only copy, you need the position to look exactly like it looked in class. When you understand the mechanics, you can adjust. If the frame changes, you replace it. If the lever is lost, you know what part of the body you need to control again. If the person finds space, you know where the wedge is missing. So when you train, stop looking only at the technique name. Look at what is actually controlled. When you are on bottom, ask if your frame is protecting you or becoming a handle. When you are on top, ask if their frame can be turned into a lever. When you are attacking, ask if you have blocked the space they need to escape. When you are defending, ask what wedge is stopping you from moving. Jiu-Jitsu becomes simpler when you look at it this way. You are not just passing guard. You are clearing frames and placing wedges. You are not just escaping side control. You are rebuilding frames and removing wedges. You are not just attacking an armbar. You are controlling a lever and stopping the shoulder from escaping. That is why high-level Jiu-Jitsu often looks calm. The best athletes are not always doing more. A lot of the time, they are controlling the important mechanics earlier. They do not let weak frames become strong frames. They do not attack submissions. While the body can still move freely, they do not hold top position like a blanket and hope weight is enough. They control the levers, block the spaces, and make every escape smaller. Once you start seeing frames, levers, and wedges, you stop judging positions only by their names. You start judging them by what is actually controlled. And when you can see what is controlled, you can see what is missing. That is when your Jiu-Jitsu becomes easier to fix. Thank you for studying with me. If you want more, I post free tips, full guides, and I also do personal breakdowns of your own footage on my Patreon. And I answer questions for all members. The link is in the description. If this helped you, subscribe and turn on the bell so future lessons reach you automatically. And it truly helps me keep making this for you.